All right. Hey, everybody. We're here with Winter Moon Wargaming. I'm Nathan / Minor Tom.
And I'm John Bushfax Bushman.
And I'm Brian Bear.
All right. So today we're going to talk about the new juicy news that dropped literally today, the day that we're recording this, which is, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I was going to say it's this, but there's so many things. We had points changes, we had snipers, we had AI keyword changes.
A lot of unexpected reworks.
Yeah, some cool stuff. Obviously when something's fresh like this, everybody has opinion. It's gonna be a while, I think, before we all have like a really good grasp on what the impact of all the changes of everything are. But it is at least exciting. Oh, character upgrades. That's probably one of the other really big ones. Some of these
huge one.
Many characters. We got, I think, like 4 the first time they dropped these on us, and we got.
Yeah, there was 1 in each faction, right? And now there's like another 4 in each faction? Question mark?
4 in there was like 2 in each faction plus Chewy. Is that right?
You might be right. I've had a long day.
Big memory.
So I haven't.
But yet. At least double what we got the first time.
Yeah.
Over double.
Agreed.
So, which is super cool, by the way. I love that you can take characters as upgrades. I don't think they're all. Yeah.
I'm pretty jazzed about some of them.
Yeah, I think Rebels got some good ones.
I'm most jazzed about Asajj.
No. Droid. Yeah, the droid ones are both super scary. Yes. Oh gosh, yeah. I think Asajj and Grievous both. Grievous can go in Magnus, right?
Yeah,
that's good. Anyway,
fine.
We got a lot of stuff to play with. I think maybe just to start, we don't want to like cover everything because if you're watching this, you probably already know about all of it. We don't need a recap.
There are podcasts.
Go around, do like a quick say what thing you're most like. What has you most jazzed about your list building? Which change? And I'll go last, so I have time to think of something.
So I'll start with mine because mine's pretty low hanging fruit. Someone didn't get the memo that saber tanks are hot, so they dropped them 10 points.
Yeah, would you get 30 points on that list?
30 whole freaking points
my
212th list.
Woo.
So like I'm just scratching the possibilities right now, but like already the weaknesses that I was feeling with my last iteration of 212th, which my latest iteration was triple saber, 2 flamethrower ATRTs, 1 big shotgun squad, and an Arrrgh and Cody for 8 acts. Mm-hmm. It was feeling I had only having 1 core and no improvised orders was very painful for that 1 core to be a super squad.
Yeah,
because if you pull, like, they don't have orders often, so you pull that token and then you never get the timing you want with it. So getting to pay for improvised orders is awesome. I get to upgrade the Arrrghs to give them an Arrrgh duo as well, so now they could throw 6 dice and stay back on home objectives at range 4.
Who do you throw improvise on, John?
Improvise, I only have 1 commander, right. So Cody.
Oh, it goes on Cody.
Are you not fazed by the pretty significant nerf to improv?
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Of course, I know about the.
It doesn't untap at the end of the round. You have to physically use an action to untap it.
Yeah, I knew that. Totally knew that.
Breaking the news to John live on there.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I don't know that I'll do that then.
I mean, that doesn't affect you as much in this specific situation.
No, I'll still get like 1 free mulligan basically with it, which is worth the 5 points. But it's not an auto include anymore, right?
It's not an auto include, but once Cody gets on a point, then shooting and recovering feels pretty good, right?
Ish.
The aim shooting.
Ish. He has jump, so his move is like super hot.
Right? That's true.
Like it's moving and shooting. He can get around, and
you want more of a just straight up support to be able to hold those things now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Tell me about this though, guys. This wouldn't be your list specifically, but there's probably a version of your list that could have this with these new cuts and this new upgrade. What do you think about ARFs with Duo and Cody and like targeting scopes or something?
Cody in the squad.
Cody upgrade.
Yeah, Cody upgrade.
I'll be honest. I haven't looked at Cody at the upgrade. It's not in my brain right now. So tell me what it does.
Have them all in one spot. So walk us through it, Nathan.
Okay, so let me pull it up because the tabletop admiral guy is. I'm sorry, I don't know his name, but he's amazing. I should know his name because he's amazing and already has everything in. It was like within minutes, he had everything on.
So
here.
good,
Absolute pro. But so okay, so Cody, Clone Commander Cody, he's got. You can go on ARFs or Marksman, which are both great fits for him. The unit gains Mechanized Infantry, which is a new keyword, and Precise 1. And then his gun is 1 red, 2 white with Impact 1. Now, do we know what Mechanized Infantry does?
We do. Mechanized Infantry. It feels like a retinue, and I loosely remember reading that they both. Yeah, him and a vehicle can get an aim or a dodge at the start of the activation.
It's like better than retinue.
It is.
It's twice as good as retinue because it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
All right.
And with native precise, do ARFs
it's not
have a
tied
gear
to
slot?
one unit? Yeah.
Right. Do ARFs have a gear? Oh, no gear slot on ARFs. Okay, so no targeting scopes. But native precise 1. So now your ARFs, if you stick Cody on there, you're talking about 6 black, a red, 2 white, with a free aim every round, basically, with precise, and one of your vehicles is also getting a free token every round. That seems like that's an expensive unit, less expensive than it was before this cut, right? You're talking 114, but like. That's 9 dice with the free precise aim, right? So basically 12 dice at range 4 plus a free aim to one of your vehicles every round. And it's 7 wounds. So it's hard. And it comes with cash 2 surges. So you got a couple in the pocket surges. That seems pretty strong.
Yeah. And I mean, you may even decide to go to 118 and just get targeting scopes, so you're re-rolling 4 dice, which
there's no gear slot.
Oh, there's no gear slot.
That's what I was checking. Yeah,
Nathan's like 10 steps ahead of you.
Yeah, I know.
Because I 100%, Brian. I'm totally with you. That would be like you can take emergency transponders though.
Yeah. Huh.
Another aim. I don't know. It's like I imagine people are going to want to try sticking him in like marksman super squads, because he's going to have the free aim to automatically trigger your long shot. Like that seems really good too.
Yeah.
But like my like wanting to try.
But the ARFs are already shooting at that range,
Right. So you always get to use the aim on rerolls. We just haven't seen ARFs really make an impact in the game so far. There was like the Echo option, but that always just felt so expensive. Cody is at the price point where you're like, oh.
Impact 1 on big dice pools feels pretty lame. Impact 1 on large dice pools, and losing the Pierce. I'm just like I'm picking out all the bummer things.
No Pierce, no Surge Crit. Like it's less good than Cody the Unit's gun, but it's just got way more dice.
Sure.
And the condition to trigger the free aim is much easier.
Well, he has Commander Cody has target 1.
Right, but you have to get him in order. This guy just gets an aim basically for existing.
Yeah.
As long as
now, having these guys, does that let you take the command cards or no?
No.
Otherwise, you would have been able to take Cassian's command cards with the Cassian Super Squad, right?
Yeah, but Cassian doesn't have good command cards. No, he does actually.
Yeah, they're fine. Yeah, they're decent. They're not crazy good, but you'd take them over any of the generics.
They're solid on red save units.
Yep.
Have they updated the Battle Force stocks to like say which of these are included in each?
I know I feel like they all have improvised because improvised is unique now. So they have to, but I think they address that. I think all Battle Forces have improvised. beyond that, I don't remember. I would assume that the characters that are in battle forces, their upgrades also are in their battle forces.
So I'm wondering, like, can I stick Cody in 212th?
I would be amazed if you can't.
Yeah, you should be able to.
I don't know if I could bring myself to do that, though, losing Cody's command cards.
Yeah, you don't have, your list in particular doesn't have a lot of command cards.
No.
So,
and losing Cody, like, what command cards am I going to use, right?
Which, in fairness, that makes me very happy. That like with
I want my cake and I want to eat it. Okay.
I know. But like, I like that both are an interesting option. Like Cody the unit is still good. Cody the upgrade also seems good, but he doesn't seem so good that you're like, why would I ever take the unit? Like, unfortunately,
that's where casting's at.
Yes, I was about to say, which is too bad because I played against a new player who was kind of learning the game. So like, I did like a learning game together like a few weeks ago. And he wanted to, and he used Cassie in the unit because he liked the server. Was like, yeah, man, let's do it. And actually, he honestly wasn't bad. He was using the unit, and I was like, oh, I could totally see taking this unit. Like, he's in a decent spot. It's just that the upgrade is so good. It's hard to ever not take it. And so, anyway, that's a 10. My point is, I'm glad Cody is not in that spot. Like, the upgrade is legitimately a cool option that I think could give some life to ARFs, and it certainly seems like it could be good in marksman, but list like yours, John, probably maybe he has so much synergy that maybe Cody the unit is still a better choice, which is cool. I'm glad that's where that is at.
I can confirm that they did upgrade the Battle Force stocks to include those upgrades.
Cool. Okay.
Nice little blue text.
I'm pretty hot on 6-man arcs, man.
6-man arcs. Tell us about that.
Oh my gosh. So I've been throwing around a list that I've been wanting to play with Anakin because no one plays Anakin anymore, and I still think Anakin's really good.
I agree.
And I've been tossed around like a high act list with Anakin lately. Before the point update, it was like 13 acts. It had triple arcs, all with medics, and now this just kind of opens it up a little bit more. Like it probably won't get to 13x because I want to get 3 6-man arcs because those guys seem just really high value.
We need to pause for a second. How are you getting 13 activations with Anakin and medic arcs?
Okay, so it was 13x. So it was Anakin. He had burst, push, what was it? Tenacity and into the fray. And then we had triple medic arcs. I had 1 clone infantry with a medic, 2 naked clone infantry, 2 just naked pikes, a naked capo, and triple barks.
Oh, okay. So you really just like
I really leaned into I wanted tempted to trigger often. I wanted the speed from the barks to be able to get on POIs that people weren't expecting, and I wanted Anakin to eat. And when he's supported by those arcs, that he could do that. And so that was the goal. But that was all before these changes. Now I'm interested in these 6-man arcs because I like what they can bring to the table. I like the idea of rolling up with an aim and shooting 13 blacks and a white. And
so who's the 6th man? Did you already say it? Did I miss
medic and gunner?
The medic and the new arc gunner.
Okay.
Which to be noted, he doesn't get his attack profile in melee. That 3 black 1 white.
That's not a sidearm.
Thank goodness he doesn't. He'd be so busted.
Yeah, but he still does roll 2 blacks in melee, and so you're still. I mean, if you roll into melee, you're still rolling 12 black dice with charge, and a couple of aims. So
a good. Oh, sorry. Yeah, finish your thought.
Yeah, I was going to say I just think it's a solid unit because right now, as a rebel player, I really like Sleeper Cell, and Sleeper Cell are rolling 12 black dice. They surge to hit, so they have a little bit more firepower, but they also die way faster. And this is a unit that not only is more durable, the attack dice is pretty comparable, and they also have a medic. on red saving unit or red saving defense deck, and so it's just everything about it seems pretty sweet to me.
Yeah, it's a lot more expensive than sleepers, but you're getting that durability to back up your offense. So it's not quite as glass of a glass cannon. It's a more expensive cannon now, but it's not quite as glassy. I was going to say, on a point of math for those at home, sometimes you may wonder, like, well, is it even worth charging somebody if I have more dice for my ranged shot? And the answer is, it is 100% better to charge because you're getting a second aim token.
Yep.
So if you think melee versus the gun, melee is 2 black, the gun is 2 black, and then a black and a white on top of that. But a second aim is getting you re-rolling 2 more black. So you're basically trading a white die for a black die as far as total dice rolled, but you're getting to you're like getting more movement, and you're getting to melee, which is probably
burying yourself in melee, probably getting on an objective, staying safe from outside shots, denying the defender from shooting outside.
Yep. So in addition to whatever benefits you'd be getting from melee, offensively, it is still actually slightly better mathematically to charge because you're getting the 2 aim tokens.
To be the contrarian, there probably is a lower threshold where if you've lost some models, you might want to keep that range shot because you have a higher ceiling of hits.
That's true. You probably reach a point.
A number in there, I'm sure.
Like at 2 models, that's probably true.
Yeah.
Like 2 aims on 4 black dice is overkill, except that
it keeps your dice
shareable.
Yeah. I'm just saying for the offensive power.
Yeah. That is a point worth noting.
Yeah. So the goal would be is when you're at range 3 of a unit, you move forward, you take your big range 2 shot, and then the next round you double move and get charged and get your charge off.
Yeah.
I also like that they have like a little range 3 poke now.
Yeah.
So you can't just get totally boxed by standbys or something.
Yeah.
And frankly, with your scout, like, it's not going to be that crazy that you can scout, move, and then just shoot with the little range 3 plank. And if you do that 3 or 4 times, right, or like if you're playing 501st, you do that 3 or 4 times with each one backed up by 2 aim tokens. Like, that's annoying to have.
Only the scouted one is backed up by 2 aim tokens, right?
Yes, you're right. Scout, move, and then you do the range 3 plink. Right now, granted, there are going to be many situations where if you just double move your arcs out and then shoot your opponent's stuff, you might be putting your arcs in a vulnerable position. I'm not saying you always want to do that, but
into the wind.
Right. right. You double move your arc shot. You're like, oh, cool. I'm going to use my range 3 heavy. I'm going to roll my 4 dice, and then your opponents just like obliterate the arc shot. Don't do that. But if you have a way to do it safely, it's like, why not? Why not shoot your 3 black and a white with 2 aim tokens behind it? That's like a much easier shot to find 2 scouts than a range 3.
Yeah, I just see a lot of really cool things that I know that I've talked to a few Gar players that have been a little bit disappointed with the changes, but I'm kind of excited about Gar list building, to be honest. Like, you got your 6-man arcs you can build off of. You got your 2/12 with new points that you can play around with. You've got super pikes that are gonna love Shock T. You've got super pikes that are gonna isn't Mace Windu's his compel is just core trooper. It doesn't say core clone trooper, right?
Nope.
Oh man.
We might have a use for Mace, ladies and gentlemen.
Super pikes with Mace's compel is going to be pretty nice.
Dang.
So there's a lot of cool things and a lot of cool options. Wheelos are coming out, and Gar is going to have a super big tank that is a great line of sight blocker. And which may be needed if we're going to see a fair bit more of these crit searching snipers in lists. You may, as a guard player, you may feel like you need a little bit more shielding, and Wheelos can provide that. So there's going to be some really cool options and it'll be fun to see the rock paper scissors going on over the next several months.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see it shake out. It'll be interesting to see how effective these snipers are in practice. I think it's interesting that they can hurt armor and immune pierce things, but that it is pretty much capped at 1. I do feel like, now obviously I think most people would agree that the strike teams that existed before this day were generally too pricey. But you think back in like when 2.6 first dropped and those ARC Trooper quad strike lists were on their heyday, those things could consistently get 2 wounds if you didn't have some sort of pierce protection.
Use the cover change.
Right. Because you're just pumping 2 through. Yeah. Most situations against 2, even surging red saves, more often than not, are not going to roll 2 blocks. And then
the other gets pierced.
Right? So it is only 1 wound they can do if you do the auto wound thing. Like if you're just shooting
it's just my poor Yoda. My immune pierce 5 health.
And you're going to need to keep him safe, that's for sure.
Yeah, at least it's not like Mando gun shooting into melee even.
Right. I do think, though, like if you've got Yoda, I think it's like I don't think it'd be too hard to play around it with Yoda because if I'm remembering this right, both models have to be able to see you, right? And it can't move before it shoots. So as long as
not moving,
right. So as long as you don't end Yoda in a spot where both minis of a strike team can see him,
like short of
can't do the auto
firsted. It's in my own control. Yeah,
right. No, I'm not saying that won't be a pain in the butt restriction sometimes, and there might be other rounds where things are happening. Like I'm not saying it's not strong, but it's not like your opponent's just going to be all their snipers all day. It's like, die Yoda. Unblockable wounds, unguardian shots you can't guardian. It's like it's a little more complicated than that,
right?
But
and just real quick, I know we've been kind of talking about guard changes, and I like that we're kind of just staying within that faction for now. Another thing that kind of interests me is the Chewy upgrade. So now the reason why I think this is interesting is because you look at Chewy and you're like, okay, that's a 40-point upgrade. That's pretty pricey. But you throw them in a melee Wookiee squad, and now you're looking at 102 points because the melee Wookiee squads came down.
Yeah.
And you throw in some Into the Fray and a tenacity. You're looking at 112 points for this unit. But now you're rolling red surging defense and 4 reds, 4 blacks in melee for a fresh unit, right?
Seems like you really want O-Push in there because I feel like they want the pierce on their first shot so badly.
Oh, I think you're probably right. So instead of tenacity, you put O-Push in there.
Okay. Yeah, Into the Fray is interesting though.
But because it's red saves.
You might.
Why do they need the aim for the pierce? What am I missing?
Duelist.
That's for the melee shot.
Yeah.
It saddens me to say I don't think Chewy is good on I still think range Wookiees just aren't, even with their new price, are not attractive. Even
I'm talking about melee Wookiees though.
Yeah, I think melee agreed. I think that's I think next time I play a Republic list, it's 100% going to be a bunch of ARC gunner medic dudes, or it's going to be some Chewy Wookiee or both.
Sorry, did you say it was surging red defense?
So surging red defense because of Into the Fray. But
once you're close enough, okay.
Yeah, you have to be melee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting proposition because if you take Chewy in melee Wookiees, now again, it's not going to feel as good against super large dice pools. So, for example, something like an ARC medic gunner rolls up against Chewbacca, it's going to feel more like white saves than red saves. Okay, but
unless you get the jump.
Yeah, if you can get the jump against with cover, right? You got to keep cover in mind. Against small and medium pools, it is going to feel like red saves. And if I'm your opponent and I'm sitting across from that, it's not a big threat to me immediately, and it's 12 wounds behind those pseudo red saves. Yep. And so I think like as your opponent, I don't really feel up to shooting Chewbacca. I don't want to be like, oh my gosh, I don't want to take my whatever my big alpha strike is and shoot it at Chewie, and some of it goes to cover, and then he rolls, and then I kill one model, if that, right? And so, but then if he gets in at full health, my word, 4 red, 4 black, surge to hit, duelist, and then if you have the end of the fray, like you said, he's gonna be in there all game if he hits your lines at full health within the fray. You'll be impossible to dislodge him. Using Pierce against Wookiees will actually feel good. Saying like my Darth Vader, it's like my Darth Vader to deal with your Wookiee unit because
leave my poor Wookiees alone.
Right. But doesn't Duelist get them immune Pierce?
Sure does.
They have a dodge. If you're getting those, how are you getting your Wookiees dodges, Brian?
If I'm against melee, if I'm worried about a saber coming and hitting me, I'm gonna dodge and then
take a dodge action. Yeah.
Prepared supplies.
Do they have a gear slot?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be worth
it. It's actually legitimate.
That might be a good tech.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, because in like those initial engagements, it feels bad shooting something that's not coming at you. But like,
I think there's options. I think there's
I need to try this.
I'm excited about that one too. I think a few of these character upgrades kind of seem like duds to me, but I think
118. I could pay 118 for that.
Right? Yeah, I think Chewy seems very cool.
Yeah, I am a little bit bummed about. I think Obi-Wan took a bit of some stray shots here with the Guardian changes.
Yeah, what the heck was that?
Yeah, I don't know what that's so weird.
Sorry, Obi-Wan lovers out there.
Well, and then his upgrade kind of blows too.
Let's see.
Like if someone makes Obi-Wan work, let us know because I will be really excited.
Yeah.
Like if someone's like, I got Obi-Wan in this list and he's like makes these unkillable ARFs that are like winning me the games, that'd be so cool.
Unkillable ARFs.
If I look at that, I'm like, Cody, I'm so excited to use him. Chewy, I'm so excited to use him. Obi.
It's so weird to me that like the range 4 unit has these, like this isn't the first melee focused thing.
No, it's so weird.
It's like the Jedi Guardian, which remember comes in the ARF box.
Yeah.
But at least he gives them charge. Obi doesn't give
there's
them charge.
No charge from Obi.
Oh my gosh.
Crit 1, impact 1, pierce 1. And then a reroll of everything.
I don't want to wish list what could have been because there's no point. But it's like if he were cheaper and just gave the Soresu effect, there's a world where maybe he could go in some things. But like,
and that Soresu effect doesn't untap. Like that's a recover action.
It doesn't even untap.
I don't see anything saying it untaps.
Oh my word!
Looking at that Obi upgrade, it's like the Family Guy old Obi-Wan and the lightsabers.
Well, the problem's not his weapon. That's not the problem.
Right. The immune pierce is great.
The fact that it goes and
blanket immune pierce.
Like if you take Obi-Wan in arcs, crazy good. Like arcs that can tap for a reroll, that would be really good.
Wow. And another pierce option in melee.
I don't know.
Only.
Yeah. Anyway, we don't.
Is he seen in canon like hanging out with these ARFs a lot or something? Like, did I miss those episodes?
ARFs canonically are really tight with Jedi. Oh. The Jedi think that the ARC troopers are stuck up. So the Jedi never hang out with the ARC troopers, but the ARFs are like super chill. They don't go out drink, they don't party too hard, which annoys the Jedi. they don't smoke death sticks. So like Jedi are like ARFs are way like they're a much cooler hang. Jedi don't party that hard. They're not.
All right, now I'm starting to not believe
lifestyle.
you. Yeah, right. Just now,
John. You had me for a bit. And now took it too far.
No, none of that.
At
None
Death
of that
Sticks,
was
you
going
lost me.
I love how you said it with so much authority. It's fantastic.
It was. Yeah, he was convincing.
I've been told I have a good deadpan. It's gotten me in trouble more than once because occasionally I've said something and I used my deadpan and it was meant as a joke because it was something absurd. Like it's like just some absurd thing, but other person didn't know me well enough to know my deadpan, and they're just like, "This guy's an idiot." I'm like, no, I promise. I was saying a joke with a straight face. So if you meet me in out and about, and I say something ridiculous,
he says anything. Don't believe
to never sound like I've said anything stupid. It's like, oh, he was probably just joking, and maybe I wasn't. Maybe I wasn't. Maybe I actually said something dumb, but now I've got cover. Anyway.
Awesome.
I think something I'm excited about, I've been playing, I mean, Empire is the number one thing I've played since 2.6 dropped. And I've been basing all of my Empire stuff, and I love Imperial High Command that just came out. So I'm excited for Fifth Brother. I think that Fifth Brother, Riot Troopers with the KX droids and like Tenacity, if you got the points. Obviously, he combos great with Gideon, with Ruthless, and Tip of the Spear Agent can direct him. So, like a triple move spur with that dice pool is kind of crazy.
Yeah,
it's like Ram, and because you're taking a wound if you do that. And so if you have Tenacity, that's 6 black, 6 red, surge crit with Pierce and Ram. That's disgusting. And gosh, what else? Oh, and it's also like impact 4. So even if you're not engaged, you lose the surge crit if you're touching a vehicle. But like if you have to run up to a tank and you got Ram and impact 4 and Pierce, like that's still stupid good. But I also think even if you don't have Gideon or like new ways to motivate, which is like a little gimmicky, I think just even Thrawn with 1 step ahead, that seems still really good. Like that's many times 1 step ahead plus 2 speed, 3 moves. Like in many situations, that's going to be enough. So like when your opponent isn't quite expecting it, right? They're kind of like keeping Fifth Brother at range 3 and then 1 step ahead, boom, oops. Now he's inside charge range. You direct him. Right, we play the cunning 1 pip to make sure he goes first, and then you just send him in like a missile. Unfortunately, PSA, if anybody else who's thought about Thrawn plus Fifth Brother riots, I was thinking about this. You got to remember something that John pointed out to me when we were playing a game once upon a time, is that Thrawn's super cool 2 pip standby doesn't work on something that's suppressed. So if you take Fifth Brother and you spur him in and you nuke something, and then somebody else tries to run in and punch you, and you're like, ha, Thrawn 2 pip. You can't, because if he spurred in, he's going to be suppressed. So one little damper on the Thrawn brother combo specifically, just make sure you're thinking about that caveat. But that doesn't mean the combo's not still really cool. I mean, that whole package, Fifth Brother with KX and Riots and Tenacity, is 100 points, which is like pretty good for the consistency and volume of the dice with the Pierce and the spur. That's not bad.
I like the spur because then you don't have to worry about you can spend that 6 points that you would with Imperial March on the Tenacity. On the Tenacity, which is great.
Mm-hmm. Why not both? Why don't you do both?
You can't do both. They only got one slot.
No, why don't you do Imperial March and Spur?
Because there's only one training slot. And the way Imperial March
then you wouldn't get Tenacity is what we're saying.
Yeah, I'm saying forget Tenacity. I'm saying 2 speed, 3 moves.
Well, you can just do that with Spur anyway.
Yeah.
For 2 suppression. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, once you're in melee,
all right.
Who cares?
I guess, yeah, I'm only trying to save 1 suppression here.
Right.
And the charge, you already have charge from Fifth Brother.
No, you got charge from the Riot Squad.
Riots natively.
Oh, they didn't gain that from Imperial March. Everyone else did. Okay.
Yeah, you just have it natively.
Yeah, they don't.
Who needs March?
All right, I'm caught up.
Yeah, but the Pierce with that, I mean, that attack profile with Pierce and Ram, like that's pretty brutal. Like I like that a lot.
I don't love it.
Like either 7 black 2 red or 6 black 3 red with Surge crit and Ram is incredibly consistent, and like it averages like 7 hits or something, like something wild like that, like 7 with Pierce 1. Like
is it Surge crit or Surge? It's Surge hit, right?
Hold the line is Surge crit, so they don't natively Surge at all, but Hold the Line gives you Surge critical and Surge to defense, which is why it's a little bit of a shame that you can't be engaged with vehicles.
No. It's Surge hit.
What?
Yeah.
Surge hit also confirmed.
Oh.
Nathan's cheating. That's what we said. Don't listen to Nathan ever.
That's right. Well, I mean, as we know, when you're in melee with troopers, the difference between Surge hit and Surge crit is very big.
It's very important. Yes. For those times where you get all crits and can get past their dodges.
Yeah.
Or the armored.
Yeah, it effectively
like
doesn't
shield
really
Wookiees
matter.
And who else is?
Right.
I don't know.
Well, because the thing is, you can't be engaged with the vehicle. So,
but there are armored troopers like battle shield Wookiees.
Well, you know what? Fair point, because the impact value actually is so high that seriously you could be impacted through low levels of armor, or like range troopers.
See,
which got their 10 points back.
They got it back.
With me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair point.
But the other thing is interesting. So that Riot squad that you were talking about with Fifth Brother and the Tenacity with the KX droids is 100 points, right? Mm-hmm. So we saw Marksman come down quite a bit again. The Stormtrooper Marksman that can go on the Riot squad. Now, I don't think that it's ever going to be worth it to spend, or it'll almost be never worth it to spend that action to get that shot off, right? But the thing is that for 11 points, you can throw that in a Callus Riot squad, and now you're looking at Callus KX's as Stormtrooper Marksman, which is only 11 points. And so now you're looking at a what is it? Callus is like, that's a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 health unit that surges in defense and offense and throws a fair bit of dice.
I think like if you're going all in, I think it's reasonable to take the 11 points. I think there's a lot of, in most lists, there's a lot of other really good things you could do with 11 points.
Yeah.
It's not a bad choice just to go like, I'm really going all in on one of these pools. It's not a bad choice.
I mean, it keeps Callus alive that much longer, and the KX is alive just that much longer, right?
11 points for 1 health is a bargain.
I think so.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same base. I mean, Riot's base are 44, right?
Yeah.
So 11 for 1, it's the same cost per model as the base unit. It's not as good of an efficiency gain as the heavies are, like the KXs, which give you 2 models with red dice for 18 points. So it's not like, but yeah, again, comparing to the base unit, it's a very reasonable addition.
But you could take all 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can take all 3
and Marksman.
Notably, like if you could take it with Fifth Brother, I would do it every time, no question.
Sure.
Unfortunately, for some reason, Fifth Brother and Seventh Sister are the only ones that don't give you an additional heavy slot. For some reason,
I don't think Chewy doesn't either.
Oh, that's true. Chewy does. I kind of get why Chewy wouldn't, because then you're making his like ability that much more powerful.
Can you imagine throwing Chewy in with a freaking battle shield Wookiee?
Right.
I was hoping.
Yeah.
I
for 40 points, like
hate
let
that,
me spend another 30.
The thing that would make me excited about this, because I could actually see it in ranged Wookiees at that point. Because ranged
bowcaster,
Chewy and a bowcaster, and now you're upgrading 5
Pierce
of
2
whites to blacks.
We
don't even Pierce 1 because
Pierce.
Chewy doesn't have Pierce on his bow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was kind of a bummer for me. If his effect wasn't so good, then I'd be sad about the Pierce.
I mean, it's about the effect, right? But yeah, unfortunately, as it stands, he's not. He doesn't seem that good in ranged Wookiees, but does seem very good in melee Wookiees. Especially with, I was thinking in my builds about Tenacity and O-Push And Brian, you madman, I think correctly suggested Into the Fray. That's really gross.
Yeah. Now, with another Empire change is we saw Iden's droid drop to 0 points.
Yeah.
I think it's completely reasonable. She might still feel a little bit overpriced, but she certainly feels like, I mean, I have Iden lists that I was interested in trying out even when she was overpriced a little bit. And now with her ID, what?
An ISF went down so much.
Yeah, a lot.
If ISF are good, then maybe Iden's worth it. Well, especially with this with contact, which we're gonna talk about on the cast next week, or next episode probably.
Yep.
Which will most likely be in 2 weeks. Some of these funky, especially if with Battle Pack 3, if we continue to see new funky friendly territories, if this is a thing that continues to roll out in a third battle pack and presumably a fourth battle pack and so on and so forth, infiltrate stocks will continue, right, to go up. Infiltrate gets better and better, and these ISF are cheap. You might be able to put together a pretty gross Alpha Strike. And at that point, I consider throwing Seven Sister into the ISF too. I'll have to try that a few times before I know how I feel about it. It's kind of like she's basically just kind of I don't want to call her a worse Inferno, because she doesn't need the aim to trigger her Pierce, but she also doesn't get a free aim from me next to Iden. So that's kind of 6s. And then her thing is range 2 instead of, range 5.
No, but she could range 3 on Iden's turn, the attack strike, right?
I mean, she gets increased range thanks to steady. It's not as good as having range 3 and a speed 2 move.
Oh, I thought it increased the range. I'm just crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's tactical and steady or something.
It's tactical and steady. Yeah.
Steady and tactical. But I mean, infiltrate 2 speed 1 moves. You'll be able to get a lot of things you can do with that.
20 inches on top of that, you get into deployment zones, but not. But yeah. She's a shotgun, right?
Yeah, shotgun on an ISF. It's at least interesting. Mm-hmm. And honestly, demoralize is no joke. Demoralize, just being able to chuck out an extra suppression, especially with these AI changes that we have, right? Even more situations where chucking an extra suppression potentially is very powerful.
That's a good point. AI.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a whole thing too. I mean, that's less one that you're like, ooh, I'm excited about how this improves my list building because it's just a nerf. But honestly, AI felt useless, if not a buff before. So
yeah, it didn't exist.
Right. This current version of AI is oh, actually, there will be situations where this matters. So.
Yeah, I do think the ID10 2-pip was already gaining popularity when freaking what's his name, Cassian started to go crazy, right? ID10,
all of these leaders coming out,
and all these leaders going into core troopers, and she's all of a sudden she just zaps them and puts their token face down and be like, oh, you don't get to go this round. That's
it's going to be a lot of shock that people are going to a lot of gotchas.
Yep.
For a little bit.
Yeah. The first time that card happens to you is an unforgettable experience. I remember when first Gen Con, when Wes Wagner did that to one of my BSE shotgun units.
Oh, no.
I did not know that was a thing. I only played against Iden a handful of times, and I had never seen her played with ID10. He played that card, and he just stopped one of my very expensive BSE from activating. I was like, wait, what? That's the thing? I paid a lot for this Black Sun unit. And it's just turned off this turn?
This year,
not only that, but
Bobby-
it uses like you don't even get the turn. So
Yeah.
like your opponent gets the last act afterwards too.
It's
like
not even like I'm a Jedi where like, oh, they have the activation, they can't attack. It's like you're -1 as well.
Yeah, it's excellent. Yeah. And I think that's a great point with the power with super squads and leaders in squads and all these things. You're seeing the power of that card is going up. You were saying something, John. You've seen it.
Oh, it happened to me this year even, and like I saw it coming but couldn't stop it. With my 212th list, Bobby got one of the super squads. Oof. So 150 point unit, just sitting down.
Dang.
Taking
now, is that something that happens right when you play the card, or is it when she activates?
I've got a.
I think it's a free action.
Like free action when she activates.
It is incapacitate. It's a free action. Yeah.
Okay. So what's
you can move into them and do it.
Oh gosh. So you can move into them, but the other thing that's cool is this is a 2-pip, but you can play command and control uplink to make it a 1-pip.
Sure can.
Oh,
absolutely.
Iden's back on the menu, boys.
And you can not only that, Nathan, but you can move her, cohere her ID10 droid forward to make sure you get the zap off and still shoot something.
It's like you're replaying my memories.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah. I mean, she's still an expensive lady. She's still 115. But you got, I mean, good points are being made. Yeah. It's definitely
she's value.
Definitely significantly more interesting choice than it was 24 hours ago.
Yeah.
Well, should we each brought lists that we built just kind of featuring one of the new changes, things that are interesting to us. Do we want to share those now and give our thoughts?
Yeah, let's do it. Well, I kind of used mine already, but
the 212,
as the 212.
Oh, just the same one, but okay.
Yeah. I'm super exciting like that. Yeah.
I'm
very slow with list building.
Oh,
I'll give opinions,
I've
but
built
my
15 lists this afternoon, John.
I'm more like Brian. I have list building ADHD. My problem is that I only try about 1% of the lists that I mock up in Tabletop Admiral, and then I'll think about I think this is really good, and then I never actually play it. Anyway, but so this is one. So did I post it in our Discord? I didn't. I did. So you guys should have it. Well, I don't know. Maybe we'll post it somewhere in this video. But I'll read it. Yep. So this is a 14 activation Empire list, and it's not even using. Oh no, it is using strike teams. Okay, I'll read it off. So we got Krennic because I got to have my boy Krennic for that compel. We got Thrawn because I got to have Thrawn. We got Snow Troopers with Ion and Imperial March. We got Riots with Callus, KX, and Imperial March. Did not have the 11 points for the extra guy, but I was thinking about it. We got the 5th Brother Riot Squad with the KX droids. We got 3 Scout Troopers with the Sab and frag grenades, because I think frag grenades on that pool is disgusting. We got 3 strike teams with the sniper. And here's the thing I think is really cool. 3 bikes with strike and fade. Now, my contention, gentlemen, is that if you have 6 support tokens in your bag, bikes are actually in Empire with strike and fade are actually pretty dang good. Because I think the biggest thing holding them back so far has generally been a difficulty with order control, like you compare to Staps, right? But I think if you got 6 support tokens in your bag and, some extra direct from Thrawn and some things like that, I think potentially Imperial bikes could be quite potent. They got impact. They have a, respectable medium-sized pool. Their threat range is huge. And I think I think one of Empire's trickiest problems at the moment is mobility and getting to objectives. And bikes do that for you, man. Empire, you can set up a spot on the main front. You can have your 3 strike teams kind of set up a zone where you start putting pressure if your opponent comes out. You got the Scout Troopers with the Sab and the frags for like close range nukes when things get exciting. You got your chargy boys, you got all Thrawn's tricks, and then you have your bikes that can just once the fighting gets crazy, you just kind of have them hide for a round or two, and then once your opponent starts to get a flank that's really looking weak and depleted, you just have the bikes zoom there. And now it's like, oh, you're fighting in the middle. Guess what? You just lost your back point because it's round 3. And now my bikes just ripped apart those 2 naked core you had there. And now they control your back home point. So now your objective math is all messed up. Anyway, that's my thought. And I think again, with 6 support tokens in the bag,
yeah,
I think it's a lot more reasonable of a proposition. What do you guys think?
I did not realize that strike teams changed rank. So that's cool for those of you also catching up with me.
I'm super hot on strikes because of that change. So like things so especially for GAR and for Rebels in particular, and honestly for CIS too, because actually maybe all 3 of them, because they all have supports units that all factions have support units that have flamethrowers. And those flamethrower units are all fairly timing dependent in order to get the most use out of them. But if you're padding your tokens with other supports that are relatively cheap but also effective throughout the game, then it gives you a lot more control over those flamer pieces that you want that are a little bit more timing sensitive. And so like a lot of my Rebel lists are looking at 3 flamers, 3 snipers. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see that pretty commonly in GAR. If we could see that with spider droids and CIS. And you can even see it with dues in Empire. And so like it gives you quite a bit more control and power over over when those tokens are used when you pull them from your bag.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's generally, I mean, Staps are kind of like have been the exception for this, which is part of why Staps are so strong. But a big thing with, like you're saying, a lot of support rank units, not as much the things like range troopers, but these kind of fast or important close range units, like you're saying, like flamethrowers or like speeder, like Barks. Other one, I think Barks and Imperial bikes. Or timing is very important, and sometimes it's very hard to get orders to 3 separate bikes. But yeah, if you got 6 tokens in the bag, got a lot more control. And like in the early rounds, again, I'm of the opinion that I don't even necessarily like alpha striking with bikes turn 1. Not that it's not strong, but I think if you alpha strike with your bikes round 1, they usually start dying round 2, right?
Yeah.
If you just hide your bikes round 1, and maybe even round 2, you can go with you actually go with your bikes first. So you set up your strike teams, right? Because they have, let's review this just because make sure we're all on the same page about everything. These bikes are the strike teams, right? Like we said, their support rank. They have incognito and prepared positions. So you pick like 3 spots on the board, enough to give you a little bit of a good viewing range where you can kind of set up a kill box. It's not kill box because you're not going to be killing things, but you're going to be wounding things, right? With these snipers. Yeah. You set up like a little kill box, basically just block out as much area as possible to where if your opponent tries to walk out there round 1, you're going to shoot them. You go with the bikes early. So you keep that zone blocked off as long as possible, because we were talking about this before the cast, but an important thing to catch with snipers is that to do the auto wound thing, right? Which again, it's new enough. Maybe we should just review it a little bit, right? You got 3 dice, a black, 2 white, surge to critical. And the way it works now is if you shoot before moving, okay, you can upgrade all 3 of your dice. And if you roll a crit, then you can just skip all the dice, all the defense. It's just automatically 1 wound. Doesn't care about Guardian, doesn't care about Immune Pierce, doesn't care about armor, doesn't care about anything. It's just an auto wound. So like, but because you have incognito, Well, I mean, you do have to have both models have to be able to see. So that's a thing. You got to be careful with these strike teams because if they can see you and then they shoot, they're going to have to be a spot where both models are visible. So then they can really get one shot, right? But right, you just sort of set up your little spot. You set up your kill box, and then you have the 3 bikes go early. You have them hide in a spot where they can flex in round 2 and round 3. And you can delay those snipers activating for a long time. So you can really kind of limit where your opponent can go. And then once it's time to go with the sniper, you shoot, and then you just, hide it behind some terrain.
Yep.
And now it's safe. And then the next turn it pops out and it shoots, and it doesn't get the cool auto wound thing because you can't move first. Then, right, you just kind of same thing, have it end of the round, pop out, shoot again. And then the top of the next round, there you go. Shoot and move. Or if you want to, in my list, if you want a strike team to start the round in a spot where it has LOS on something, you can use one step ahead on it.
I was going to bring that up.
Yep. Move it out first. You go with that
Rebel
thing first.
Imperial.
You shoot the Yoda or the Vader or the tank or whatever, and then you just take it and.
Every faction now has at least 1 or 2 things that lets you get an outside activation move. Between guidances and the override on droids,
pull strings, and
1 step aheads.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So anyone can get around that if you really want to maximize that gimmick.
Yeah, it depends on how much of an investment. But that's what's great about 1 step ahead is it's not reliable to trigger, but if you do get it, there's like no cost.
Free, yeah.
And that's what I think is going to be really valuable about these strike teams is that they're prepared positions with incognito. So they're just going to sit there in the open and be like, yeah, I'm going to wait until I get my shot. Then I'm going to shoot my shot and I'm going to move behind line of sight blocking stuff. Mm-hmm. And so that's going to be a pretty powerful opening turn.
Mm-hmm. Now, we were saying this before. The does have a lot of agency as far as avoiding it because even if you're out of LOS of 1 model, they can't do the auto wound thing. They can still throw 3 dice at you with surge to crit and high velocity. So you don't necessarily want to put it.
Pierce?
No pierce.
No pierce anymore.
I see.
It's just its own mechanic. Sniper head.
It's got this new overwhelm keyword that's a free suppression, right?
It's like
when you spend an aim.
Duelist.
Yeah.
It's like duelist. Instead of getting a pierce, you're getting an extra suppression.
So it's gated behind spending an aim, and then if you've spent an aim, then you get to give them a suppression.
Right.
Yeah, but the good thing is that you still do get to spend the aim to reroll dice.
Yes.
Right.
And you can still
unlike long shot and unlike lethal.
Right.
Right. That's just it's like duelist. You get to still use.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Brian's catching up.
Brian's never caught up.
I was clarifying for viewers.
Sure.
You ever look in Brian's eyes? You see what's behind there. It's not operating. Yeah. There we go. He's a flamer, rebel flamer. I take my 50 neck rebel. That's so brilliant. Wow, what an innovator. What an innovator. Throwing 20 dice is good. Whoa.
All right, Brian, you got a 20 die list here. Is that what I'm hearing?
A what?
What list did you bring?
Talk about? Well, it's which one?
Your favorite one.
My favorite one it has Operative Luke in there. So let me pull it up just a second. Because Operative Luke has not felt great as of late for me personally. I felt like he hasn't been able to affect the game as much as I want him to affect the game. And a lot of that's because Rebels in general, I feel like to get the most out of Rebels, you need to be at a certain act level. I love playing Rebels at low acts. It's very, very unforgiving. And at high level tables, it's very difficult to pull wins out against very good players, right?
Brian's saying he needs easy lists.
Yes.
That's what I'm hearing. Yeah.
And so
shotgun fleets.
I've learned that against high level players, I need to have higher acts. 12 is the absolute minimum for Rebels, in my opinion. to be on a highly competitive level. But with some of these changes and with some of these new units like that seem real good, like Han Solo on a Tauntaun is so my list is it's a rebel officer with proven tactician. That's the one that gives them a courage bubble of 3, which rebels are going to need with all these suppression things going around right now. This is a purely support officer, so I do have improvised orders on him because he has no other upgrades. He's there to give and inspire, provide courage 3, and recover my improvised orders. That's what he's for. Then I've got Luke Skywalker, got burst of speed, push, mind trick into the fray. I've got Han Solo on a Tauntaun with trusted agent, tenacity, and emergency stims, because emergency stims on Han Solo with Tauntaun is good.
Annoying.
Yeah. Then I've got the triple ATRT flamers. I've got triple fleet troopers with astromechs that run behind the ATRT flamers because that's my bread and butter, and I love it. I've got triple naked commandos, which commandos are, they're going to be decent because they got low profile. They got the scout 2. They'll be able to get to somewhere pretty safe on round 1. They've got their sharpshooter 1, so they're going to be pushing through some damage because they're not rolling a lot of dice. And if you're not rolling a lot of dice with sharpshooter 1, then it's very likely that your hits are going to go through the cover.
So cheap. 42 points?
42 points, yeah.
Very cheap.
Yep. Yeah. And then I've topped it off with triple commando snipers. So it is 15 activations with a Hantan and operative Luke, and some decent range, far range poke, and some pretty hot flamers that want to run right in your face. So I'm excited about that.
Obviously, that's disgusting. Okay. Obviously, it's nonsense.
Explain to me E-stims on Solo. Why are we hot on that?
Because he gets to activate twice in a round.
But that just means that he's also going to trigger the part where he takes the wounds back.
Yeah, but it's getting him another activation.
Yeah, it's
just buying him another thing.
But it doesn't buy him another. It doesn't always buy him another round.
No, not another round.
Not always. Buying you another activation.
But yeah, okay. All right.
I mean, I technically can't you recover E-stims?
You can.
Yeah, it is a tapped upgrade.
You could buy yourself.
You'd have to heal as well.
So technically, you can buy yourself as many times as you recover, as long as you don't take more damage, right?
Well, you have to also heal, though.
Right, but then when you would suffer the wounds, you can just put them right back on the E-stims because you recovered.
But you suffer the wounds at the start of your activation.
Yeah, no, you can't.
You suffer the wounds at the end of the activation. Otherwise, you die immediately. Is this not a thing?
No, I think you're right. I'm just trying to.
I think I'm right because E-stims you take the wounds at the end of the activation. Otherwise, they would be useless.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Because if you suffered them at the start, you delay the 2 rounds, and then as soon as you tried to go with them, you would just die. So that doesn't make any sense. You suffer them at the end.
End of the next one. Okay.
So let's say I've got Hantan and he takes 6 wounds. I tap E-stims. I move 2 of the wounds that he would take onto the E-stims. He activates.
On his turn, you recover. Yeah.
On his turn, he recover.
Here's the problem.
At the end of his round, he would take the wounds from the E-stim.
Here's the problem.
But they're back up. What's the problem?
The problem is E-stims only triggers when you take wounds from an enemy attack.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Otherwise, everyone would be doing that all the time, Nathan.
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, you usually don't. You usually don't have the ability to recover.
That's all right. We figured it out.
Anyway,
we got there.
Anyway, yeah, it's
almost sense. A good idea.
But almost, and most ideas I have are almost a good idea.
Oh yeah,
they're not usually actually good. But E-stims, I'm genuinely with Brian on this one, even without the silly trying to recover and use them again. Yeah. The reason is because if you just get even one more attack, like that's what Han's trying to do, is he's just being annoying. And the thing with Hantan, is that you have to kill him ASAP. because of Unstoppable, because of adding extra tokens in the bag, because of getting against what's already a 15 activation list, of giving it, now making it essentially 16 activations that you pass tokens, but you're not getting a pass token for that 16th act. So like, you have to kill Han ASAP or everything is just gunked. And having to, so you want to hit him with something big, right? Because like you want to take him out quickly, and then putting him there and then tapping that E stems to be like, no, actually, guess what? You need to do another attack. It's like, because you can't let him go, because then he's like, he's going to do a bunch of damage to you. So you have to put in another attack if you even can. But then like, it's just so annoying.
Yeah, it's really annoying. And the best part about it is like, there's going to be a lot of times throughout the game where Luke's going to double move into a unit and he's going to slap him and he's going to leave one or two models that are alive. And he does not want to swing at them again. And so he's going to walk away from that unit, and my sniper's going to snipe him up. And it's the same thing with Han.
Han's going to pick him up with his versatile.
That's what Luke Han has done since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Luke just leaves around little tiny Han's fragments of units, and Han is just as good as Foot Taunt. Well, I'd say Foot Taunt's a little bit better at this part specifically because of the Pierce 2. But
Pierce 2 is gunsling.
Yeah. Right. Han is still very good at like, I'm going to damage one thing and just annoy you and stop for any launches, and I'm going to pick off this one little model that's left with my little extra shot.
Yeah.
It's very annoying. It's very annoying.
So that's the plan.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, Han dies quickly.
He does. Very fast.
Even with the
hide behind the RTs.
Is he an RT? I
think Tons can. I'd have to get their silhouettes out.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Thanks, John. Thanks for that.
No problem.
Thanks for that.
I plan on trying it myself.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit. Your list probably is not looking for this because you're very specifically, like you said, looking for the high activations. But have you thought about Sabs in these commando units? Just like generally?
Yeah. So I've got another list here. Just a second. That has the Sabs. And so one thing that I think is really hot with the Sabs is let me see if I can find it.
How much is a Rebel?
Yeah. So this is a 14 act double bus with quad lasers and unorthodox tacticians. Again, triple snipers, triple commandos with Sabs, fleet troopers with astromechs, R2 and Op Luke. But the cool thing is that these commandos with Sabs, they have droid poppers because they're already yeah. So the Proton Saboteur is already impact 6 with blast. Then you throw in some droid popper as a nice little additional tech for one of your commandos at range 1. And
14.
What was that?
This upgrade is 14 points.
Yeah, the Saboteur, 14 points. Yeah. So this is a 14 act list with friggin' 2 buses, 3 snipers, 3 rebel commandos, droid poppers, proton saboteurs, 3 fleets with astromechs, 1 naked fleet, R2 with HQ to keep our buses alive, and Op Luke with tenacity because he's going to get aimed up from the buses.
We're going to be seeing lots of Sabs, I think.
Yeah, and that so those but the Sabs, I'm pretty high on the cheap droid popper on a Sab because now you're throwing impact 6, you're getting that ion off, and you're just
yeah. As long as they're not doing a lat or something, you're just going to be murdering vehicles and ioning them just to be a jerk.
Yeah, exactly.
That's stay away from my tanks.
Now, what is Assault 1?
I just looked it up. So Assault 1, Assault X is when a weapon with the Assault X keyword is added to an attack pool. If the defending unit is within 1 of the attacking unit's unit leader, you may upgrade X of that weapon's attack dice. So you'll get at range 1, you'll get to upgrade your white to a black.
To another black. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So it'll be 5 black, 6 black.
It gives the other weapons assault 1. So all 4 of your blacks get to upgrade to reds.
Wait, what?
No.
Because not from that keyword, from what the weapon does.
Upgrade
When this
X
is added to an attack pool, the other ranged weapons in that attack pool gain assault 1. So all the other dudes, all their guns get assault 1.
What?
That's I'm rereading and quad reading this text, and I think we have different text here.
So I'm talking about the text on the upgrade.
I'm
not the keyword.
I'm looking in the rules reference.
Read the rules reference for us, John.
When a weapon with the assault X keyword.
Okay, pause. I'm not talking about that. Read the upgrade text. Read the Rebel Commandos Proton Saboteur upgrade. You'll understand what I'm talking about.
I've got it here. So
is added to an assault. Other ranged weapons gain assault X. Okay, so the 4 rifles will have the assault 1.
Yes.
Keyword.
So all 4 of your rifles are going from black to red.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Okay. All right. We're caught up.
Yes.
So this die pool is now 4 red and a rainbow. 5 red, black, and white.
And a rainbow surge hit with impact 6 and ion.
Now Brian's trying to fit it in the list.
It's already in.
Which, by the way, let me back up so you guys understood how sexy my Imperial Scouts were with frag grenades.
I hate Imperial Scouts.
You're talking 6 black, 1 red, and their sab is 4 dice.
Yeah.
Okay. So 1 red, 2 black, and a white. And then all 3 of those regular scouts, you can't upgrade the frag grenade, sadly. But all 3 of the other dudes get to upgrade one of their blacks to a red. So you're talking about 4 red, 3 black, and then 1 red and 2 more black and a white. All of it surge crit.
That's crazy.
That's
why?
On a
why is
that's on a 70
because of the frag grenade.
Frag grenade. Yeah.
With blast. It's on a 70-point unit.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's like Empire has sleeper cells now. They're a little bit worse than sleepers because they're only 5 models and they have to get the range 1. But
yeah.
Totally
fine. I mean that's a solid unit that actually can be it's a cheap unit. Like, I mean, you're looking at that. It's a 59-point unit.
Right. Yeah. Your Rebel ones are 59 points and they're throwing 5 red, a black, and a white, surge hit, blast, and
ion.
I'm sorry. And you got to throw Jin on one of them. Throw Jin on one of them.
Yeah.
She's upgrading
another rainbow.
Yeah. I don't
it's better than a rainbow,
her in this list, but she can be really good.
I'll make room for you, Jin. Don't worry.
I mean, yeah, you don't have to. You might not have room for specifically. But I think, like, generally, if I'm playing Rebels right now, that is one of the things I'm looking at is Jin in Commandos with the Sab. Like, it's still only 84 with the droid poppers.
Yes.
So without the droid poppers, which
I'm at 81.
Are not essential at all, 81.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then 84 if you just want to be a huge jerk and on your opponent's stuff, which is cool. Like that's crazy.
I love being a jerk.
That's what this game is about. Making your opponent sad. Because your opponent spends hours and hours crafting, painting their miniatures, and then you get to sit across them and go, remove that. Get it off the table. It's dead. I shot it with my Jin Rebel Commandos. That's what this game's about.
Yeah. So I'm pretty jazzed about it. I just think it's cool tech. It's and the cool part about that list, that 14-act list, is that everything has a purpose and they do things. Like everything's there's nothing that's just sitting around. Like even the fleet troopers, they're there to heal my ATR or my buses and then double move and get stuck into something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like it. I'm excited.
That's really good. The Sabs all work in melee too, don't they?
They still do. Yeah,
they do.
The Sabs work in melee, and Jin shoots in melee.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Assault is only for the ranged weapons, though, mind you. The assault upgrading dice.
It's only for ranged weapons.
Oh, okay. So you are losing a little bit of efficiency in melee,
and it's also, to be honest, it's a little bit hard to get them in melee and get good use out of them because they don't have charge.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I wasn't thinking about that as like aggressively going into melee. I'm thinking about that as just like defensively.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's a lot of units that are really good, and then if your opponent gets into melee with them, now it's like they're shut down. But with Sabs, it's like not really.
Yeah.
I guess you do lose the assault, as John points out. So you lose some, but you're not losing a ton of efficiency. So it's like if you're, let's say, next to you, the Wookiees charge your lines and they smash into one of your dudes that's right next to you, and you're a move away. You can very reasonably move in and punch the crap out of those Wookiees if you need to.
Yeah.
Or Arrrghs or whatever or riot troopers, right? These big melee threats, and you're going to want ways to be able to throw lots of dice in melee to deal with these threats. And all these Sab, and here's the thing, all factions have them. Everybody's got these really cool Sabs, and they're all pretty similar. I think the one that's most
don't have the Sabs.
Oh, that's true. But but okay, they got the Arc Gunner instead, which is fine.
Yes, and I'm so glad they got it, because just having the sniper option for their strike always seemed a little bit lame when everyone else had multiple options. And so I'm glad that they have that. Of course, they don't. They still only have one option for their strike.
But everybody only has one option, right? You can't take the snipers in the big units anymore.
You can take the Sabs
in the strikes, though.
You can take the Sabs in the strikes?
I was just looking at that.
You sure can.
Really?
Yeah. You better believe I've got a 6BX commando unit, or 6BX commando list with all of them having their Sabs. And one of them has a Asajj, and she also has a Sab.
You would do. I mean, Asajj and Sab in BX, that's a given. Of course, you're going to do that because that's crazy good.
So good.
But Sabs in the strike teams, you would do that.
Yep. I learned it from there's a guy I played on TTS. Cranberry is the Discord name that he goes by. I mentioned him before. But he was playing some crazy like 14 or 15 act list against me with BX Sabs. And I was like, what is this guy doing with BX Sabs with Vibroswords? He's spending way too much money on this, or way too much points on this like stupid little strike units. But he would just use them out on a wing, and he'd just like leave them behind a wall and be like, yeah, they're fine. I'll bring them out when I need to. And then they'll jump over this wall and charge your thing and do some damage. And now you have to waste a bigger attack than you want to waste into that unit in order to kill them. And it's just like, gosh dang it.
Good. Well, and they're cheaper now.
Yeah, they're even cheaper now.
They're cheaper now. Yeah, you make good points. Oh my gosh, six BX Sabs. What is this world coming to?
Yeah.
And with one with Asajj. That's no good. That's no good. It's cool that Leleko was saying it. It seems like it's not like one faction got this cool toy, you know? Yeah. I mean, the thing that we haven't talked a ton about, which I think is revolutionary, okay, the guys that don't get this is Shadow Collective, Pike Super Squads are a thing now. I don't think people are ready for Pike Super Squads. Like, I've secretly been of the opinion for a while that actually Rebel Trooper Super Squads are pretty good. I saw a few people when Cassian came out starting to play with them, and what I heard had pretty good things to say. I think adding the extra 5 bodies, like Storm Super Squads are good if you can charge them, right? Because they need aims to use those 5 extra white dice. But if you're adding 5 extra black dice, that's really solid. But now you're doing it with pikes. I don't think people are ready for Pike Super Squads. Like, I think so many people are talking about snipers and Sabs and all this cool, like Pike Super Squads are going to be gross. And Shadow Collective Mall just dropped 20 points.
Yep.
So, and the capos went down 6 points.
Yep.
So Shadow Collective players that have been feeling left out, I think you've got some good think you've got some good stuff. I think Maul Pikes could be very scary right now.
And pirates are looking great.
Yeah, we'll see about pirates. It's a weird. Pirates are weird. I don't know if they're bad, but they're weird.
I really like the swashbuckler keyword. Like,
do we know
I'm all
about
about that.
Yeah, they're out.
Yeah,
you can buy them.
They're out. I was thinking. Yeah. You spend a name, get a dodge in melee. Is that what it is?
Yes, but then they also have versatile.
Yeah. So you can shoot out. Now, note you cannot charge and then versatile shoot out off the charge. You would need relentless to do that.
Right. Charge doesn't give you a range shot. It gives you.
But you can charge and get buried, and then on the next turn you can relentless out.
Yeah.
Still super very versatile.
Very versatile. Yes.
But it feels very piratey, very swashbucklery.
Yeah. So I'm stoked about that. I think that's really cool. I'm also CIS mall dropping
15.
Yeah,
I'm glad CIS really needed some help.
Yeah, they were hurting a lot there. We weren't seeing him anywhere.
No,
tournaments, they're basically non-existent.
I will say it's not like we saw a ton of mall.
We didn't.
No. So
no, but because they did need more options, right?
Right.
They need more viable options.
Also, a big change to Aqua Droids, right? Aqua Droids and Droidicas. They now you can see through them, and the biggest change, they can be force pushed.
That is huge. I know that's how. Okay, how much of your willingness to play Luke again? I know it's probably not a big piece of the pie, but what percentage of your pie chart of reasons why I'm going to play Luke again was it I can force push Aqua Droids?
That's more than a quarter.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
And Decus. I mean, that's occasionally useful also.
Because the craziest part about Aqua Droids is that you can force push them, cohere them out because you can
snap.
And then snap them into, and then double move into them with someone else and snap them around that guy, right? So you can really move those aquas around.
Nice. There's going to be a lot of more opportunities for Luke to dance around and dance with enemy units like that.
Oh yeah.
Well, and you can hide in melee with aquas.
Yeah, because now they're droid troopers, so you're now engaged.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think Aqua's melee is that bad. Is it? It's like 1 red each or something. Or is it?
No, they'll still slap you. Yeah.
Oh, can they? Maybe you don't want to hide in melee with them then.
Yeah, they're a red each, but it's only It's only 3 of them, right? 3 or 4 of them.
But if you tie those aquas up in melee with your crap, 4
They've already lost
better than their regular attack.
Way better. I mean,
and to clarify, we mean better for the opponent is what we mean.
Yes, safer.
Yes, or even just like if you think about raw efficiency, like part of the issue with aquas, and in my mind, it's still quite possible that come November, maybe these guys do need more points simply because, like, just the raw math of their wounds versus their attack for their cost is just so crazy. Mm-hmm. But
I'm not sure they'll need it with these new changes.
Jury's out 100%. The jury is out. And part of the reason is because I was saying, like, part of this is just that their offense for range 3 in particular is like, it's obviously not as good as like some of the range 2 and range 1 offense, but for range 3 offense, it's incredibly good and their wounds are incredibly high. But like now we're in this world where instead of having to deal with these aquas, you like suppressing them as an option now.
Yep.
And panicking them, gunking them up with AI is an option if you get them suppressed. Also, you can just tar pit them. Mm-hmm. If you have something like naked fleets or like fleets that have a repair guy, you just charge the aquas. Maybe you do a wound, maybe you don't, but who cares? Now the aquas can't affect the battlefield because they're stuck with these fleets and they can't even one-shot the fleets because they have 4 dice and the fleets have a repair dude. So they have 5 health. So like you have more ways to stop the aquas from being a problem. And they also cause less of a problem because they can't block things.
Yep.
Right? So, yeah, I mean, it's a new world.
A lot of changes.
Yeah.
I think, like, on paper, Aqua Droids for a range 3 unit with Infiltrate are still very strong. I don't think Aquas are suddenly bad.
No,
but
I'm still going to use them in my CIS lists. They're still great.
Right. They still seem very strong. But, yeah, it's like
Very
it's not in this position where I feel like I have to shoot this thing that is like that has 12 health behind armor 2 just so I can start getting to the rest of my game, right? It's like all these different ways to deal with them now, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Much better. So, I don't know. Exciting stuff.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what people come up with over the next few weeks, and then in a few months, or in like basically a month at this point, like a month and a half, before we even really start to figure out what we have, then we're gonna have Mandos drop.
Oh man.
So
yeah.
I think
this year is gonna be tough to figure out a meta, and it was already, I feel, tough.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is a bad thing at all. It's exciting. There's a lot to try. Tournaments are going to be wild.
That's the best part. It's like you know the meta is pretty good when everyone thinks they have the meta figured out, and you go to like something like Worlds,
no one does,
and all of a sudden everyone's like, "Whoa, what is this? Like what where are these Dark Troopers coming from?"
Here
like,
all along.
Yeah, and it was just like that. You know the game's in a healthy spot when people are getting surprised at tournaments.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody knew that Aquas and Super Tax and were good.
Yep.
But the one that won was not the one with Grievous that I think a lot of people in the US were talking about.
Yep.
Was Grievous Willbike, and it was Dooku that won. And I saw a lot of people in the few months. I haven't followed the like some of the online chatters much in recent months, but I do feel like I saw in the months over this past year, people kind of feeling like Dooku wasn't worth his points. And then he's the one that pulled it out, because guess what? Dooku is worth his points because he's awesome.
It's almost like there's a skill factor involved.
What?
It's just dice luck, man.
What?
It's just dice luck.
I only lose because of terrain and dice.
Same. I'm absolutely.
I only win.
Yeah.
I only win.
Time. I get timed out too.
Oh yeah, right.
I occasionally blunder and make myself lose, but all of my wins are due to dice luck. My opponents tell me so. I'm just kidding. Generally, most high-level players are pretty good about. I mean, you can. Well, I almost think we should do an episode on this, because sometimes I think people are a little bit too silly on the dice thing and go far off and are like, well, it's always the more skilled player that wins every time. It's the dice never causes someone to win or lose. I'm like, well, that's not true. Clearly, dice affect.
Yeah,
it's pretty close.
I like to keep the mindset, because it motivates me to find win conditions outside of dice.
Yes. Finishing a game and blaming your dice or your terrain or the flop or some factor that you have no control over does not help you get better at the game. And it also is kind of an unsportsmanlike thing to do to your opponent. Finish the game and just be like, oh man.
And that's not mentioned enough.
Right. Yeah. It's like, you want to try, and like, obviously we all have games where we get skunked by the dice and you want to, man, that was a horrible dice roll. But it's always important, because you can have the best luck in the world, and if you're crap at the game, you're still going to lose, right? So if your opponent beat you, there are things that they did right? And there are things that you did wrong, because no one ever plays a perfect game. And so it's important to pick those things out through the bad luck. And also to understand, and I think this is maybe the most important one, is we're actually even though luck exists, and even though if two people play a game, statistically speaking, it's unlikely that both players are going to have exactly equal luck in however you quantify that. But we're really bad at telling. Like humans are very bad at telling how unlucky. So like you'll in your mind, you're like, oh my gosh, there were these 3 dice rolls in a row where my opponent rolled like 17 out of 18 on their surging reds, and you're going to like fixate on that one bad thing, and you'll forget that you full boated 3 attacks in a row that led to that like statistically shouldn't have done that, right?
Yeah.
Like, so you just psychologically, we focus on the things that we didn't like, and our brain like conveniently forgets all the things that went our way. Yeah. So like, it's definitely the right mindset to have. Is you don't want to, you can acknowledge what happened. And I think it's good to assess like on individual moves. You're like, okay, statistically, I did that. My opponent diced me out. Statistically, would that actually have worked most of the time? And it's good to think about that and to actually go, well, you know what? I did get diced. That might have been the right move in practice most of the time, but over the course of the whole game, right, be able to see the things that you did that weren't the right move, or the ones where you got kind of lucky. And then you go back and you do the month, you go, oh, shoot, that wouldn't have worked most of the time. But it worked out for me okay on that one, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, probably means we're ready to wrap up. I'm going off on math tangents. So.
Me and Brian just smiling and nodding. Like, yeah.
Nathan's talking about math again.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whatever. John likes math. So.
He said the word tangent.
Yeah.
Tangent line. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us all. I'm Nathan.
I'm John Bushfax Bushman.
And I'm Brian.
See ya.
See ya.